Hi, I'm Eliane Saint Marie of Parenting for Wholeness, and I'm here with Natasha Brodowski. I just realized I never pronounced your name out loud. And who works for Parenting for Wholeness also. She's an awesome coach and human design um, expert. And we were having a conversation on a session recently where I suggested that she creates some kind of intention with her sons to help them get aligned, or I don't even remember the context of the conversation, but what she ended up doing with it was so cool that I wanted to share it with other people to give them an idea of how to do it and to illustrate what's possible through doing it.
Hey, yeah, I'm so happy to share what I ended up doing. Um, I've been going through some big changes and big transitions with my boys and I, and living from a house to an apartment was a lot bigger than I thought um, that it was for them. And so with the challenges we were dealing with, this exercise was really cool to experiment with. What what we ended up doing was after dinner we sat around at the table and I
Well, can
told
you just share their ages? 'Cause that might be relevant for some people.
my boys are 9, almost 9 and 5. Um I told them to that we're gonna create intentions. I brought like blank pieces of paper and I let them know to think of how they want their life to look like in the next 3 months. So that they can envision like around summertime how they want to feel. What do they want to be doing? Um, what will feel good to them to be where would it feel good for them to be at? And I told them that they can come up with whatever ideas they have. We're just gonna write them all down, and so I did. They threw out a bunch of ideas, and I just jotted everything they were saying down. Um, and then I had each of them kind of zone in on what was the most important one. Like I asked Ace, if you could choose one thing, what is it that would be the most exciting for you to have? And I did that with Cash. And when they were speaking about these things, their hearts, their eyes lit up. And honestly, before we started this exercise, I want to say that the energy in our home was really down. Like it was, there's a lot of misunderstandings and fighting, and it was just not a
Yeah.
really happy place to be.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's okay, I feel like, is it okay if I share a little bit about the background too?
Sure. Yeah.
Of how, yeah, so they lost their dad. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. So they lost their dad. It was 2 years ago, right? Almost 2 years?
Almost three.
Almost three. Yeah. So they lost their dad. And because of that, they ended up losing their family home and moving a number of times. So that's kind of the backstory to some of that too, of what you were all living with and like learning to cope with.
Yes. The transition into the apartment from being in a home all their life was not something that we realized the impact of that. So having to be in a place of um possibility and to really feel their vision and to feel like that was something attainable for them brought so much energy and joy into our home that evening. It's almost like they were all like jumping up and down. They were so excited. They like they had a hard time falling asleep because they were so excited. But not really a hard time, just like that joy was so present, and it was just really cool to experience bedtime be very joyful. And then the days after that it was just like I was able to view them from a different place, and we were just able to all connect. Like this really just connected us. Like we got on the same page. Like Eliane, you always talk about how like to be on everybody's team. How do we all get on each other's team? And this was what brought us on the same team.
And also share, because that's the other part is gonna make me cry. Like when you responded to him when he said that he wanted the house.
Um, what did I respond to him? That
It
you
was something around like that you just like recognize how important it was to him and that you didn't know how you were gonna do it, but like you could set your intentions. I don't something along those lines.
yeah. Um, I I didn't emphasize on the how because for me it's like I don't want my kids to be hopeful and like wishing for things that I know I can't deliver. So without knowing the how, I just let us all dream, and that there's just a lot of freedom in being able to have permission to dream. Something like that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. And yeah, I really hope it inspires people because I mean, obviously, I think I cried 3 times just in this little thing. So I found it very moving and inspiring. Thank you, Natasha.
You're so welcome.